So today we're gonna be we talked about on the show about a very juicy, interesting topic that is made for, I don't know if it's just women or but anyways.
I know it had you smiling the whole time.
A lot. You can see I'm smiling right now. So we talked about cheating, and that's what we're about to give a rundown a little bit about what we talked about. So what is cheating? Let's start there. What is cheating in let's say 2020? Because I know it differs from what it was back then.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say cheating now is like this instant gratification, because people get into relationships. They don't even know why they're in a relationship. They don't even know what they want in a relationship. You don't even know who you are when you get into a relationship. And then a new shiny toy comes along the way, and that starts to make you feel better than the relationship you're in. So instead of investing in what we have at the moment, I feel we're like in this generation of like this fast, instant gratification. You know, it's like Tinder, swipe left, order food, it'll be at your door. Everything's at your fingertips. And people take relationships that way as well. They think like, you know, if something's not working for me, I'll get somebody else. I'll replace it.
Totally.
But then also, like, I feel the deeper level to cheating comes when couples just sort of don't work at a relationship anymore, and you lose the spark that you had once. And I feel that if you got into a relationship in the beginning and you were happy and you were successful and you thrived at that time, it just needs work to be able to sustain itself where it is right now. And we forget to have fun and spice relationships up. So a lot of the reasons that I feel a lot of the men cheat is they love the women that they're with. You know, a lot of them are like, I wouldn't leave my partner. Some are like these perpetual cheaters, and you have some that make a genuine mistake and will never do it again. But I feel that it's because they just lose how to communicate with each other with what it is they actually want, what is it the relationship needs. Because if you look at a guy who goes out to cheat or a girl who goes out to cheat, and you sit down and you ask them what was lacking in your relationship, more often it's the reason they left in the first place. They just forgot, okay, it just means it's not going to be as exciting to have to work on getting this spice in my relationship like it was in the beginning. So it's easy to do it with somebody that's just making me feel so alive, and my hormones are like all over the place right now. So I think cheating has changed, and I feel it's not only physical anymore. Cheating is now the way you talk, you know, the way you hang out, the way you move, energy. It's beyond lust. It's people looking to feel these immediate feelings that we're conditioned to feel every time you actually look at your phone. So there's like, I think cheating is like a 360 degree.
It's true. And I had told you on the show about my story, basically, about how I had this woman that I was really looking to build a future with. And it didn't go too well. She cheated on me first, and then it gave me that sense that because she cheated on me, I have to cheat on her now. You see? So what would you say to those type of people that feel the need that now this person has cheated on me, I have to cheat back on them? Is that going against like your morals, or what does that make you feel as a person?
Beautiful question, Sean. So that's kind of like what we were discussing on with the show. Is the word cheating to begin with. It's not an open relationship. It's not you and your girlfriend agreeing we're going to be polygamous, where, you know, we have other people in our lives. It's now going against the person who trusts you the most to cheat, to lie, to tell stories. You start to change as a person also, because you're now hiding your phone, you're changing passwords, you're lying about where you are. There's like a whole different personality you have to develop to be able to cheat in the first place. So you're cheating on you before you even cheat on somebody else.
Cheating on myself.
I cheat on yourself. Wow. But then also a lot of people that jump from relationship to relationship, when you look deep within, like the root cause of why do people behave this way, it's often pain. They fear rejection. They're so scared that somebody will leave me or walk out on me. So before they do, I'm going to have this shell on top of myself, and I will do it to them before anyone ever makes me experience this.
Because that's the same way I felt. Like, that's why I stayed single actually all these years. Okay, I wouldn't say all these years.
Well, to avoid the pain.
To avoid the pain.
Yeah.
To avoid, like, in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, what if I go into this new relationship, even when I wanted to go to a relationship, that this woman is going to cheat on me or she's going to leave me.
And she'll hurt me.
Right. So it's that pain that I really didn't want to deal with or go into again. And also on our Twitter, we had it's Oshieng actually. He said this topic sounds amazing and interesting. So I literally want to ask, why is it that when relationships are still new, they are fun, but on progressing they tend to lose taste and you find one of the partners cheating with probably no reason at hand?
Love that question. Like, it's perfect, because in the beginning of a relationship, you're flooded with oxytocin. Your brain releases hormones that keep you like in alert. You're watching every move each other makes. You think them, you breathe them, you sleep them, you want to be with them, you want to marry them immediately. Your body is flooded with a hormone that doesn't allow you to think straight. When the hormone settles down, I say you go into a beautiful space of a relationship. Now you get to know each other, you get to grow in a different way. And I always say sometimes it's like having that healthy first fight where someone sees the real you, you know, like the raw, real, who are you when you have that argument, and you're not scared to be able to be that person. But like, I feel relationships now, everyone wants that first 6 months. Everyone wants the immediate lust, happiness,
gratification.
Nobody wants hard work anymore. And you know, the thing is, relationships are a long-lasting relationships hard work, because it's like how you figure out what do we do on the show. You got to be able to figure out, how do I keep my marriage or my relationship spicy? How do we communicate? How do I not check out? How do I not get attention or put myself in a situation where I'm getting attention from somebody else? Because I want the attention from the one person that I'm in the relationship with. So I feel if you're ready to check out, or you feel you'll cheat, then end the relationship instead of dragging somebody down that whole pathway with you. You're hurting them, you're hurting yourself. At some point when you grow up and you look back at yourself, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. How could I behave that way? How could I hurt that person that way? That's just how it works.
So on the show, actually, you gave us ways that we could actually, you know, not make things too dull and too in the relationship, to make them too dull, or to spice them up, let's rather say.
Exactly.
So what would those things that you would do even in your own relationship that you actually
actually do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you do. Yeah.
Here's
to spice
the thing.
things up.
We fall into a trap. Like, I'd fall into a trap of like, I have a wife role, then I'm like a business partner with my husband, and then I'm a mother. And you can get lost in the whole day of being in that role. And then when you have to go into the bedroom, you can't be those roles. That's not who you have to be. So a lot of people forget that you can find an alternate ego, an alternate personality that you can name, that just like when you're in that personality, you're like, oh my God, this is who I am. But then something I always tell couples is have 3 kinds of dates, because people feel, I don't want to schedule in spice. Like, you know, your relationship shouldn't have to schedule it in. It should be all the time. But then you have relationships that have extremely dry spells that I say an intimate relationship keeps you together. Otherwise, it's a friendship.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So some of the things you could do is, I say, is the fire date, the water date, and the earth date. So
earth, fire, water.
Okay. So when you have the earth date, that is all about scheduling in. It's a Tuesday, it's a Wednesday, you build up the anticipation, this is gonna happen, you know, it's exciting, you know how to show up mentally, freshen up, look great. But the earth date is all about touch. So it's like moving into this very tantric feel where there's no explosion, but it's now learning your partner. How did their eyes move? Did they make a sound? Did they not? Did they flip? Did I do it right? Did they laugh? Was it funny? So it's all just touch in every kind of way. And then I say the fire date is just fire. So that's pure spice.
Pure spice.
So one
everything
of you...
nice.
Everything nice. Or not. So one of you decides, okay, you know, this is like the day I'm choosing, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
And I've researched it a bit. I've got a video. I've got somebody that can help us. These are kind of like the options that I'm bringing in. And you sort of have to have confidence with the fire date to sort of be very strong to lead your partner into that side of things. And a lot of couples go through a dry spell because they feel they live very light personalities. You never move into the dark side of who you are. Right.
Yeah.
And it's needed. It's truly needed to keep a relationship alive, because if you can experience that in your relationship, you'll never leave and you'll never go out.
True.
Yeah. And then the third one is the water date. So I say water is just free flow. Like, you guys have an amazing dinner, you guys do what you have to do, but now you decide what's the movement. Is it a fast one today? Is it not? How do we move with wherever we are?
Yeah.
But it's crucial because I've seen relationships that are dry, dead, and meaningless. And you just start to like put in these little bits, even for men that have cheated and now feel, I wish I had never done that. And you can get to the root cause of why they did. And there's so many reasons. But some of them now, you want to be able to add bringing in the wife that he looks up to as this godly mother figure. So I can't be anything with this godly mother figure.
Yeah.
But now you sort of desensitize that and you get them both to play. And so the question exactly what he asked is, relationships, you experience a mild part of that, but you can never experience things in a profound way like a long-lasting relationship will.
Yeah.
Why? Because in a long-lasting relationship, you get to build a foundation of trust. When you trust each other, you can now take each other to different levels mentally that pushes you physically. So I always tell people when it comes to like cheating, before you do it, or if you're going to think about first, how will I hurt this person? Do they deserve it? And what's lacking? What's making me move this way? Am I looking for something physical? Am I lacking something emotional that I need to talk to my partner about? Is this a mental issue? Is this my past baggage? Is this something to do with watching my parents grow up in their relationship with each other? So there's a way to analyze why you're going to cheat.
Yeah.
But people need to remember relationships, they're not that on and off switch the way we treat them anymore. And like I was telling you, the grass is always greener on the other side, because that's the best behavior you see. You guys haven't unfolded to where you are in your current relationship. So keep the best behavior between the two of you, and then water the garden where you are, instead of looking over at how flowered it is on the other side.
On the other side. I love that. I absolutely love that. And when we were talking on the show, I could see the response that was coming through. The grass isn't greener on the other side. Always.
Yeah.
So talking about trust, actually, would you find it advisable for someone that has been cheated on, or let's say once or multiple times, to keep going back to that same person and still try to rebuild that trust, or should they say call it a quits?
That's such an interesting question, Sean. So there are two ways.
Yeah.
You see, when you have couples that have put so much capital in, so you have some couples with children, you've got some couples that have been together forever. When somebody cheats over and over again, you got to remember he needs to deal with the wrath that's going to come with that.
Oh, yes.
Because whoever's on the opposing end of being cheated on is not going to exactly be like, okay, this was comfortable, I'm fine, let's move on. You're going to hear about that a couple of times until you can make the effort to make this person feel better.
Okay.
So I never live in a space where I say, if you've been cheated on, leave. I can't, because I have people that come to me who have cheated on. So you have to have a very objective mind. But I would say continuous cheating, like somebody who just cannot commit to this relationship, needs, like, that's a clear answer. Yeah. Especially if you are looking for someone amazing you want to share your life with, but not put all this, like the village theory I told you, which is like this person has to have all these qualities that, an entire village would need to have. Yeah. But I would say somebody that consistently cheats, you would know what
that's
you
a
need
red
to
flag
do.
Already.
Right. But there's so many people that have made the mistake, but then you got to deal with making the mistake.
Yeah.
It can't be, I made the mistake, I said sorry, you caught me, or I told you, it's over, we move on. Yeah. There's now self-worth that you need to deal with. That person's going to question. They're probably going to go Google, Facebook, or Instagram. True. Who did you cheat on me with? How did they look? What was different? What was I giving you? So there's, like I say, a repairing period. Yeah. And then you can let go of, I would say, divorce that relationship, because now things were lacking for that to have happened. But then I help couples be able to see, what if we remarry the new story? So
I like that.
Repair and we rebuild.
So you look
don't want to break up.
So you look at so maybe let's say the guy cheated in the relationship. So is it the woman to go and say, what did you cheat for, or what are the qualities what did you find it necessary to cheat on me for? Do you find it advisable for either partner to ask the other partner that? Yeah. Take it out. Because then there's some people who explode. Yeah. Everything comes out immediately. But then there's some people who implode. It's like inside and it builds and it builds and it builds. And when they explode, you think, who is this crazy person? So very often women tend to be more, I would say,
hilarious in the way that they get angry. You know, they're vocal, they're verbal, they'll scream, shout at you, but they still want you to follow them down. You know, when they say, I don't want you to follow me, give me space, but you need to follow them. You need to
follow her, yes. Yeah. I get you, yeah.
So it depends. It's like, it's this, that's why I say there's no right and wrong answer. I would just say somebody who's like this consistent cheater, if that's not who you want in your life, and that's not the life you eventually want to have, don't be with it. But there is hope for mistakes, because I feel we as a society, we just tend to condemn it. You know, you cheated, you hit, I'm out. But then it doesn't work for some people who are in the middle of it, and you're so invested in that relationship.
Exactly.
But take it out. It's so healthy to communicate effectively. So not communicate to sort of dig him further down, but he's got work or she's got work. I mean, it's going to come. That's the cost to what you did.
True. I absolutely love your advice, Shazmeen. It comes all the way from the heart, because as I told you guys, Sean Preezy, your host, always doing the most.
Energy Radio.